Greetings, Googlers. Mr. Rapp checking in with your next geography lesson via distance learning. All right, so this week we're moving to a new region. Last week we were kind of focusing on this region here, and now we're moving into a pretty big region. You got Western Africa over here and Eastern Africa, and I'm just going to go ahead and call it Central Africa. Now you can see from this beautiful satellite image that is right at our fingertips, you can see that it's pretty green right here in the middle. So some things to keep in mind is you got the equator running right through here, whereabouts, and something to keep in mind with that is that now we're looking at some parts in the southern hemisphere, and you have the direction of weather is going to be a little different. So, for example, back up here at home, our weather is going to come from the west. Almost all of our storms come from a westerly direction. All right, our big snowstorms that we usually get come up from the south, but it's still a westerly direction. And even some snowstorms that come from the north. Anyway, so down here, something to keep in mind is that you get some weather coming this way, and once you get below the equator here, I should say south of the equator, you get weather that comes from the eastern direction. So, something to keep in mind. Another thing is, you have this tropical region, and you can see the same thing in South America, where the greenest parts are right along the equator, where it is warm all year round. All right. Anyway, to look at some countries here, the ones we're going to be focusing on this week, and you'll see the assignment, we have Senegal, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Côte d'Ivoire, or in English, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon, Central African Republic, South Sudan, Eritrea, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Somalia, Kenya, Uganda. I had a college professor who grew up in Uganda. I'll talk about him more probably later on this week. Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, the DRC, also known as the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Central African Republic, Gabon, and Republic of the Congo. Some things that will be of interest, or maybe something that might be confusing to you. Something to keep in mind is you have this little region right here, and you're probably wondering who that belongs to, and that actually belongs to Angola, which we'll wait till next week to focus on a little more. But I just thought I would mention that. And something to keep in mind is Equatorial Guinea owns this island right here. It's a very small country, and its capital, in fact, is Malabo, which is on this island. And Equatorial Guinea has a strength in oil. Anyway, moving up here. So, if you have tried the Cetera quiz on Africa before we had school canceled on us, you probably saw this really annoying little spot here called the Gambia, which was always hard to find. But if you zoom in here on Google Maps, you will see that the country borders go around this river valley. So if you can't quite see that, I'm sorry. You can check it out on your own Google Maps. Here is this river, the River Gambie, or Gambie. And this whole country revolves around that river valley. So you can imagine that this country probably has experienced a lot of conflict with trying to get this region to be its own. So something to keep in mind is, I don't remember if you remember me mentioning how in Europe you have all these little different languages, all these little different countries, and you have all these little different groups of people, especially down here, where we call the Balkan Peninsula. It's not going to be any different in Africa. Um, Even though some of these countries are really big, you're going to have thousands of little tiny groups that have their own identity. So something to keep in mind. And also, like this region here, Rwanda had a civil war um, back in the 90s. There's a movie about it called Hotel Rwanda, and it goes over that topic. It got really nasty there. So this region has been prone to a lot of conflict over the past. And for example here, the Congo, which is, I'm going to switch map here, home to the Congo River and the Congo jungle and the gorillas. But anyway, if you were to follow this river on Google Maps here, the mighty Congo River, it goes all the way through the region, winds back and forth, and ends up down here. But this region is said to have extremely valuable mines that haven't been used yet, or haven't been tapped into yet. And it is said that these mines could possibly have trillions of dollars worth of wealth for this country. But I'll try to tackle more on that issue on Wednesday. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for now. And for right now, for the assignment, I'm just going to have you do another country profile. And then I will have another assignment on Wednesday for you to do. A couple other things to keep in mind is that we are still going to stick with the Easter weekend schedule coming up, where we wouldn't have school on Friday. So we have been asked not to assign anything for Friday. Oh, and then before I leave, so for the country profile, when you go to the CIA World Factbook link, all right, so you'll come up here. Whoops, there we are. So right here is where you go to pick your country. And I was just on Burundi, so I'll stick with Burundi. Where are you, Burundi? What happened to you? There you are. Okay, Burundi, in the capital, Bujumbura. Alright, so some of the things you'll want to check out. It does go into depth here with about each country. But if you go to people and society, it'll give you its population. It'll give you its ethnic groups, the Hutu and the Tutsi, which is actually what the movie Hotel Rwanda is about. And you'll see all these different languages that are spoken, religions that are there. It'll give you a demographic profile. And I would encourage you to read through that. The other place that I had you look is here in the Economy tab. And it will tell you a little bit about the country. Burundi is a landlocked, resource-poor country with an underdeveloped manufacturing sector. And if you look at its GDP, it's only 8 billion. It's almost last place in the whole world with its GDP. But anyway, I thought I'd just show you those tabs. Show you where to look if you had trouble finding that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. I will post a new video on Wednesday. And let me know if you have any questions. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.